Morning folks, Guy here, Latitude Resorts. I can tell you it is a cracking day in the far north of Australia, on the east side of course, being around the Cairns Port Douglas region. The sun is shining, it is getting boring, but as I've always said, the weather's good this time of year. No one ever trusts me or believes me, but it is true. The tide's also perfect at the moment. We've got low tide at 1:37 today of 0.8 of a metre. High tide is this evening at 7:32 of 2.5 metres. You'll notice I'm coming to you from all over the place at the moment. I'm moving here, there and everywhere else, just keeping it a little bit interesting for everyone, you know. The change is as good as a holiday and all that sort of stuff. Until I get my sort of office settled down. We're moving offices, so it's a right headache at the moment. Internet issues, you name it. You get sick of it, don't you? Telstra's sort of doing a good job, but hey, you can only do what you can do. Solar eclipse. People are talking about it again. We just had the Great Barrier Reef Marathon the other week, which was the precursor for the big one next year for the total solar eclipse in November 2012. It's going to be huge. It's a very early morning eclipse. If I recall, and I haven't double-checked my figures, I know Rick will be watching this, and I'm sure he will correct me, but I think C1, which for those of you not in the know, like my good self here, that's the first contact, in other words, where the moon first hits the surface of the sun as it starts to take it over. That's going to be happening about 6:15 in the morning. I think I'm right there. As I said, Rick will correct me if I'm not, I'm sure, and I'll have to retract all that, but it's around that time either way. Port Douglas is one of the only places you're going to get the maximum length of totality, around about 2 3/4 of a minute of total coverage of the sun. Here's something that's absolutely fascinating, that I find absolutely fascinating about this. How is this that the moon and the sun are the same size when covering each other from a distance? Do you understand what I'm getting at here? I'm talking obviously physics and so forth, but because of the location of where the moon sits and where the sun sits, they're identical in size. If that doesn't make sense, then I'm obviously talking way over your head, and those of you who don't get it. But I reckon it's absolutely fascinating. Anyway, more interesting solar eclipse information coming up over the coming weeks and months. But you want to get online and start booking and looking for accommodation very soon, because it's absolutely going to be chockers, and there's a lot of greedy people up there trying to make the most of a few days, which I absolutely despise, and I assure you I'll be naming and shaming anyone who's trying to take advantage of the tourism trade just for a few days of a few dollars. But anyway, let's not get into that. A bloke walks into the doctor. He's got a carrot in each ear and a banana stuck up his nose, and he says to the doctor, "Doc, I'm not feeling so good." And the doctor turns around and says, "Well, maybe you're just not eating right." Yeah. Anyway, catch you tomorrow. Bye.